Welcome to my channel, where your adventure into the future starts right now. Step into a vibrant universe filled with groundbreaking technology, breathtaking alien landscapes, and exhilarating sci-fi narratives that challenge your imagination. From daring explorations of distant galaxies to haunting journeys through dystopian societies, we uncover the most captivating stories and innovative ideas that will shape the world of tomorrow. Subscribe today and join us on an incredible intergalactic voyage that promises to inspire and thrill. For centuries, the galaxy had rested in a delicate balance of power, a web of treaties, alliances, and understandings between diverse and ancient species. Each civilization, no matter how alien or vast, had its own way of approaching life, conflict, and survival. The larger, more established races, those who had long since reached the stars, viewed the younger species, like humans, with a mixture of condescension and bemusement. At best, humanity was a curiosity, an upstart that had crawled out from the dust of a fragile, chaotic homeworld and was now dabbling in the wonders of the cosmos. At worst, they were a threat to the status quo, a species that was unpredictable, brash, and most dangerous of all, innovative. When humans first set foot in the galaxy beyond their own star system, they did so with a sense of cautious optimism, eager to meet others, share their knowledge, and join the collective effort of intergalactic cooperation. Yet, despite their many achievements and the promise they held, they were still treated with a cool indifference, even disdain, by the more established species. To the long-lived alien races, humanity's rapid advancement was seen as both baffling and potentially dangerous. They were still a young species, and most believed that such reckless expansion would soon lead to a fatal misstep, one that could be easily corrected by the superior military might of the galaxy's more experienced civilizations. In the early years, humans had been content to prove themselves through peaceful means. They established trade routes, built diplomatic ties, and shared their own technological advancements with other races, hoping to earn the trust of their galactic neighbors. But despite their best efforts, there was always an undercurrent of resentment. The humans were too fast, too eager, and, most troubling of all, they had an unsettling capacity for resilience that made other species nervous. The first time humans truly felt the sting of rejection came when they sought to join the United Galactic Alliance, UGA, the central governing body that kept the peace between hundreds of alien species. The UGA's leaders, composed of a coalition of the galaxy's most powerful and influential races, were hesitant to admit humanity. There was a deep-rooted fear that the introduction of such an unpredictable, fast-evolving species could upset the delicate balance of power that had existed for eons. The humans were, to many, a potential threat to their carefully maintained dominance. Though their technological advancements were impressive, humanity had yet to prove that they could be trusted with the full responsibilities of galactic citizenship. Humans, however, were persistent. They continued to lobby, to negotiate, and to form alliances, knowing that their path forward would not be given freely. Then came the Krivak Dominion, the galaxy's most feared empire, a brutal, militaristic civilization that had conquered many lesser species and made a name for themselves as the unquestioned rulers of their sector. The Krivak, a race of towering, insectoid beings with an insatiable thirst for conquest, viewed humanity as an obstacle to their ambitions. They saw the humans as an emerging power that needed to be dealt with swiftly, lest they grow into something far more dangerous. When the Krivak first made their move against humanity, they did so with all the confidence of a civilization that had crushed countless enemies before. They launched a series of calculated strikes against human colonies on the edge of the galaxy. These raids were swift and brutal, meant to instill fear and demoralize the humans. The Krivak assumed that, like so many others before them, humanity would crumble beneath the weight of their superior numbers and technology. The humans, however, had other plans. For centuries, humanity had been forced to endure war, struggle, and adversity. Earth itself had been the birthplace of countless conflicts, wars between empires, revolutions, and the relentless struggle for survival. It was a planet where entire generations had been forged in the fires of conflict, learning to adapt and innovate to survive. The Krivak, in their arrogance, had miscalculated the nature of the human spirit. When they attacked, They expected to break humanity's resolve, to crush them under the boot of their advanced fleets. Instead, they awoke something that would change the course of galactic history. Rather than bowing to the Krivak show of force, humanity responded with a combination of sheer willpower and brutal ingenuity. They fought back, but not in the way the Krivak expected. The humans used their limited resources to devastating effect, launching a series of guerrilla attacks, ambushes, and sabotage operations that crippled the Krivak supply lines and left their advanced fleets vulnerable. Humanity did not possess the overwhelming firepower to match the Krivak in a direct confrontation, but they made up for it with innovation, stealth, and unrelenting resolve. The Krivak were unprepared for the human response. They had underestimated humanity's ability to think creatively under pressure, to turn a disadvantage into an advantage, and to fight not just with weapons but with intelligence. The humans used every tool at their disposal: cyber warfare, psychological tactics, and sophisticated military strategies to turn the tide of battle in their favor. What began as a series of isolated skirmishes soon escalated into a full-scale war. The Krivak, once certain of their dominance, were now on the defensive. The galaxy watched in disbelief as humanity, outnumbered and outgunned, fought back with a ferocity and determination that had never been seen before. And then came the turning point. The Krivak, unable to shake the human resistance, escalated their tactics. They resorted to extreme measures, launching devastating strikes on human civilian populations in an attempt to break their spirit. The Krivak were convinced that the humans would finally relent, that they would be forced to surrender. They were wrong. What the Krivak failed to understand was that humanity, despite their flaws and imperfections, had an unshakable core. Humans did not give up. They did not back down in the face of overwhelming odds. Every time they were pushed, they only pushed back harder. The moment the Krivak launched their most devastating attack, a full-scale assault on a human colony, humanity finally snapped. The humans had been patient for too long. They had tried diplomacy, tried to resolve conflicts through negotiation, and tried to show the galaxy that they could be trusted. But this time, the galaxy had crossed the line. This time, humanity would not be the one to bend. The human response was swift, calculated, and unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Humanity unleashed a weapon of incredible power, a device of such devastating sophistication that it bypassed all known defenses and crippled the Krivak's fleet in a single stroke. The weapon was a culmination of human innovation, a feat of engineering that combined quantum manipulation, artificial intelligence, and psychological warfare. In one fell swoop, humanity demonstrated that they had no intention of being subjugated by any race, no matter how powerful or ancient. In the aftermath of the attack, the Krivak were left reeling. Their once mighty fleet was in tatters, their leadership in disarray, and their morale shattered. The galaxy watched in stunned silence as humanity's response reverberated across the cosmos. No species had ever seen such a decisive, unrelenting strike before. The humans had made their statement. They had lost their patience, and the consequences were felt by every civilization in the galaxy. The message was clear: humanity would not be intimidated. They would not be pushed around. They would not be driven to the edges of the galaxy and forced to submit. Humanity had learned the hard way what war meant. They had fought for their survival, for their place in the galaxy, and they had emerged victorious. From that moment on, no species would ever forget the moment when humans finally lost their patience. The galaxy had learned that humanity, for all its faults and imperfections, was a force to be reckoned with. The aftermath of the war was felt across the galaxy. For the first time in centuries, the balance of power was disrupted. The Krivak were no longer the unquestioned rulers of their sector. The once aloof galactic powers now had to take humanity seriously. No longer seen as an upstart or a curiosity, humanity was now recognized as an equal. The United Galactic Alliance, once hesitant to admit humanity, now welcomed them with open arms, understanding that the humans had proven themselves not only capable of surviving in the galaxy, but of shaping its future. And the lesson humanity had taught the galaxy would never be forgotten. No matter how many stars burned in the sky, no matter how many species populated the vast reaches of space, no one would ever forget the day humanity finally lost its patience. In the years that followed, humanity became a central figure in galactic affairs. They forged new alliances, expanded their reach, and continued to innovate at a pace that stunned their neighbors. But always, lurking in the back of their collective consciousness, was the memory of that moment, the moment when they had drawn a line in the sand and refused to cross it. The galaxy had learned that humanity, when pushed too far, would not back down. They would stand their ground, and they would fight not just for survival, but for their place among the stars. No species would ever forget the moment when humans lost their patience. It marked the dawn of a new era, one in which humanity would no longer be a mere participant in the galactic community, but a defining force that shaped the future of the cosmos.